today's video is near and dear to my heart because college is the time I decided to take fitness into my own hands and get this body right and tight. So the tips I'm showing you guys today in terms of meal prepping came from my college days and the days that I really dropped 108 pounds and kept it off. Today you're going to see that you don't have to be big balling to make that meal prep work for you. Hey guys, it's your girl Beautiful Brown Baby Doll, and today I'm coming to you from my kitchen to show you some easy meal prep ideas, especially for college students trying to save that coin. This video is not just geared towards college students. It's for anybody that wants to get a start on their healthy meal planning and might want to lose weight or stay healthy in the mix of all of this. Hopefully everybody will find something beneficial here. I've also placed some links down below for some old videos I did on meal prepping and meal planning that might be helpful to you. I'll end the video by giving you some quick tips on how you can meal prep effectively, efficiently, and save money while doing it. But while I have you, make sure that you comment, share, and also subscribe to this channel and also my vlog channel. Make sure that you come back on all Thursdays and some Sundays for video uploads. Also make sure you turn on your notifications so that you know when I upload. Now let's go ahead and hit this good old college meal prep. When I do this type of meal prepping, I usually get started with the vegetables first, especially when they involve a lot of peeling, chopping, baking, or even sauteing. I chose to cook peeled sweet potatoes, carrots, zucchini squash, and also yellow squash. I often choose these because they keep longer in the refrigerator, they're full of vitamins and nutrients, they're also cheaper in season, and also they pair well with any protein that you could have. I always peel my sweet potatoes before preparing them, and this is the peeler that I use, and any of the items that I use today can be found down in the description box. I start by chopping all of my vegetables up into small edible squares, and I love doing it this way because it makes sure that I get a good mix of all of the veggies. Also because it makes a lot of them and I'm able to eat them by themselves, because sometimes I don't even pair these with the protein. I just like to have these alone, especially for lunch. Once I'm done, I combine them all into a container and mix them around well, and then pour over just a little bit of olive oil in order for them to bake tender. And then I mix that in with my hands to make sure it coats all of the vegetables pretty evenly. With this vegetable mix, I usually just do a little bit of sea salt over top of them to pull out the sweet and also savory flavors that are in the vegetables. I then set my oven for about 400 degrees, and I make sure that I set some aluminum foil on my pans in order to cook the vegetables. I use 2 trays full. I usually go for about 4 or 5 days worth of these because they keep pretty well in the refrigerator for about 5 days. I cook them for about 25 to 30 minutes. Once you take them out, they're going to be really tender and delicious. And if I have any of the vegetables left over, I chop those up long ways in order to be able to saute them later if I want a fill-in meal. The next vegetable side dish, which is probably my all-time favorite, is a mixture of sweet potatoes, onions, green and red bell pepper, red cabbage, and also kale. To prepare these vegetables for sauteing, I chop them up into small pieces and throw them all together for sauteing, except for the kale because I don't like my kale overcooked. I like it just a little bit crunchy. So if you'd like, you can just throw in the most of the kale last. I then heat a little bit of olive oil in a skillet on medium heat and spread it around the pan evenly. I then throw in the veggies and mix them around in the pan really well, allowing them to be coated by the olive oil. I then throw in my choice in seasonings, which is a little bit of sea salt, curry powder, and some pepper. I cook those for a little while and then place the top on them and allow them to get a little bit softer, especially those potatoes, because you don't want hard potatoes. And then I put in my kale last and move that around with the rest of the mix, and it cooks down really well, and this is what it'll look like. The next side is my straight up carbohydrate or my brown rice, which I cook about 3 to 4 full cups. That'll last me about 5 to 6 days depending on what you want, and I just stir that and cover it to boil until it is nice and tender. I aim for about 4 to 5 ounces of protein whenever I eat my meat, chicken, or fish. I use my Washington scale that I've shown you all before that tells you the calories, the fat, the carbohydrates to expect in the meal that you're having. So check that out in the links down below. I take my baking sheet and place aluminum foil on it and line it with just a little bit of olive oil. Place those fillets on top. Make sure that they have enough space in between them. Then I season to taste. When I bake my salmon fillets, I put just a little bit of light Smart Balance butter on top because I find that when they bake, it makes them a little bit more tender. And then I squeeze on just a little bit of lemon juice, and y'all, they taste so bomb. Again, I'm setting the temperature on the oven to about 400, and I only let these bake for about 15 minutes because I find for me that anything above that, they taste dry and very thirsty. My chicken breast preparation is pretty simplistic, rinsing off the chicken first, making sure I put on the seasonings of my choice, and I like to use the Health Zone or or the George Foreman grill because it's quick and it's simple. I put those babies on and make sure I flip them over periodically and check the insides of them to make sure that they are good and done. We have no time for death chicken. My last protein main dish is ground turkey. I like the 93% lean, and I buy locally because it's cheaper and often it's much more natural. I chop up some green pepper, some garlic, and also some onion, and then I prepare my meat by putting on the seasonings of my choice, which are all the ones that you all have seen throughout the video. I mix that up really well and I prepare my skillet to cook this all up. I use just a little bit of olive oil and spread it around the pan evenly. I throw in the chopped vegetables and saute those up a bit, and then I throw in my meat, of course. I then break it up with my little cooking spatula to make sure that it cooks real good, and then also make sure that those vegetables get mixed through the meat and make sure I cook it until it's good and brown. I'm about to fill up my favorite meal prep dishes with my food, and I've placed the link to those down below in the information section. The dishes across the front are my lunch dishes, and I know that because I usually put rice in those. I don't do rice at night, mainly because my body breaks down carbohydrates a little bit differently from some people. So I don't tend to have pasta and a lot of sugar after a certain time. So lunch is usually when I have my rice, and then I do the same thing with my meats. I alternate what day I have a certain meat, like chicken or turkey, and I alternate my different sides so that I don't have the same side at lunch every day. I have much the same type of method when it comes to my dinner dishes. I try to make sure that I alternate the meats, and I like to have my fish at night and turkey. I usually don't do chicken at night. It's just something about me, y'all. That's just how I am, and I've always been since I've done this meal prep thing. So you can fix it how you would like, but I just like to alternate my dishes so that I don't have the same sides and I don't have the same meats every day. So I'll mix these up a little bit, and of course you're gonna pull them out of your refrigerator how you use them, but that's basically what you get. And this is what my dishes look like after I've prepped them. You can see I've kind of alternated the food between lunch, dinner, and then I have like the little extra tray just in case I need something extra throughout the week. I cover these bad boys up and put them in the refrigerator, which they pack away and stack quite nicely. And I also like the fact that it's easy to throw them into my lunch bag. I usually throw in a yogurt or one of my other favorite snacks and my Mission carb balanced tortillas, and I go. Hopefully these quick tips that I'm going to leave you guys with will also help you with this whole meal prep thing. Make sure that you check your cupboards before you leave home, your refrigerator, even take a picture if you need to, so you keep track of what's there and what's not. That leads me into making a good and detailed list based on that, so you know what you need to get ready for a successful meal prep. Make sure that you educate yourself on portion sizes and also on different foods and snacks. Once you know what you're having and how much you need, you'll probably buy less and you'll save more money. In college or while trying to save money, it's possible that you're not getting all the vitamins that you need. The best thing I can tell you is to invest in a really good vitamin so that you can fill in those nutritional gaps. There are 4 things I'd love to suggest. Buy generic, buy in bulk, buy seasonal, and don't be afraid to buy frozen. All 4 of these methods lead you to your best options without you having to sacrifice the quality of the food. A lot of times we're taught that things aren't that great for us, but a lot of times people don't know what the heck they're talking about. Make sure that you invest in or ask your family for some basic starter tools to make sure it's easier for you to be able to prepare food. Everyone's list won't be the same, but you might want things like your toaster, can openers, a blender. You'll want a knife, cutting boards, measuring cups, those types of things. I'm hoping today has been helpful for you guys. Make sure that down below you leave us some of your tips, and also leave your video ideas, requests, comments, and everything else. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.